Today on the Topping Show, Toyota patents a stick shift for EVs and gets an $850 million loan for EV battery technology research. Meta lowering the age requirements for VR users. DraftKings makes an offer for point bets. Megan Fox forces her boys to wear dresses. Garth Brooks gives an apology. Call of Duty bans Nick Merck again. LA Dodgers are now being protested by religious folks because of the drag queen performance. Bud Light locks YouTube comments. Fox punishes a worker who put up a banner calling Joe Biden a wannabe dictator. Elon Musk and DeSantis slammed the White House for saying that their kids are in fact theirs and not yours. And Spotify to drop Meghan and Harry. All that and much, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. God say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going on to the business blunder of the day, you have Spotify parting ways with Meghan and Harry. Now, Meghan is that insufferable actress and succubus who married Prince Harry, who both famously cry about media attention and stalking them, and yet everything they do in life is to get attention more from the media, write books, do all this kind of stuff. She also writes her name Meghan, M-A-G-H-A-N, so she has an H. She has an H. Why not just use Meghan, M-E-G-A-N? But she has Meghan with an H. And granted, she eventually got H in her because she married Prince Harry, so she eventually got the H in her. But I mean that's a crude joke. I would never insinuate there's more to that joke than grammar. Nevertheless, it's one of those instances where all they do, their whole life, is getting attention from the press, the news outlets, and then they cry, go, why we just want to be left alone? No. Now, the business blunder is Spotify signing them. So they signed them in 2020 for about $20 million. And it's going to be a show called The Markle-Hosted Archetypes. And it's canceled after one season. So there is no way they made money on that. Well, obviously, because they're not renewing it. And Spotify has invested about $1 billion since 2019 in exclusivity contracts and original content. The most famous one being Joe Rogan, who got about $200 million. There's a lot of speculation on if it was all cash or it was a mixture of stock where he was given shares of Spotify in addition to cash throughout, and then maybe it's paid year over year. But that was a good idea because, again, the only reason I downloaded Spotify was Joe Rogan. That's the only reason. Although now you also have the Topping Show is also on Spotify. Another great reason to tune in. But it's one of those things where it was a big reason for people to download Spotify. And then even better for the company, people are paying for Spotify Premium so you don't have to listen to the ads on his show. And of course, that's more profitable for the company to have the premium. You're paying Spotify versus you have the ads where the ads are paying Spotify. And they paid $20 million for Meghan and Harry to hear something everyone already heard. They have had so much media attention. There's no way there's any original thoughts in their head. I know they don't have a lot of original thoughts to begin with. I can't help but think they're lower on the evolutionary standard in terms of their compute power, some might say, or the brain power. But again, they were given this show, but the media already talked to them 24/7. So it's probably why no one tuned in. I didn't even know it existed. But perhaps this is the business blessing of the day. That might have to be a thing we do. The business blessing of the day is them actually kicking them to the curb. But nevertheless, high level, the real critique is that is the business blunder of the day, hiring them to begin with and spending $20 million on something that, again, pretty much asking questions to the answers you already have because, again, all they do is talk to media. The business blunder of the day has to be them paying them to begin with $20 million. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time today. I can't thank you enough for liking, subscribing, and commenting. Each one of your comments greatly help the channel grow and develop. A couple weeks ago, I had someone reach out on the chat or on the comments saying that I should use my laptop a little bit less and have more eye contact with the camera. And thanks to them, I utilized the monitors I have behind the camera, which I usually have for my, I say 9 to 5 job. I work way more hours than that. But now that makes me keep eye contact a little bit better with the screens because I have the screens behind the camera. So that helps a little bit out. So that's a really good example of the comments helping the channel grow and develop, and your feedback being greatly appreciated. So each one of those things greatly helps out. Also, sharing the channel helps out a lot as well. But I digress. Thank you so much again. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.